Hello everyone, today I will introduce a useful thinking tool called Scamper. First, in the modern world, innovation is very important. People face many problems in daily life and work. Old ideas are often not enough, so we need new and creative ways of thinking. Scamper is a simple and clear tool that helps people create new ideas. It is not difficult to use, and it gives us step-by-step way to think. The word scamper is actually an abbreviation. It stands for 7 actions: substitute, combine, adapt, modify, put to another use, eliminate, reverse. These 7 actions help us change an exciting idea, product, or service in different ways. By using these steps, we can look at the same problem from different angles. Next, let's look at the history of Scamper. The idea first comes from Alex, who introduced brainstorming. Brainstorming helps people generate many ideas freely. Later, Bob improved the idea and created Scamper. He made the process more structured and easier to follow. Because of this, Scamper is now a practical tool that many people can use. Now let's talk about why Scamper is important. First, Scamper helps with innovation and problem solving. It can be used in many areas of life, such as study, work, and daily problems. It helps people think in new ways instead of fixed thinking. Second, Scamper is widely used in different fields. For example, in businesses, companies use it to improve products. In education, students use it to develop ideas. Another important point is that Scamper provides a clear process. It turns structured idea into concrete steps. It makes creative thinking easier and more practical. In short, Scamper is a simple but powerful tool. It helps people think creatively, solve problems, and improve ideas step by step. Thank you.
Okay, today I'd like to talk about one important technique in the Scamper method, which is called substitute. Scamper is a creative thinking tool that includes 7 different techniques. These techniques can be used either individually or together to generate new ideas. Among them, substitute is one of the simplest but also one of the most powerful. So what does substitute mean? First, basically, substitute refers to replacing one elements of something with another. The element can be many things, such as materials, message, target audiences, or even the way a message is communicated. In marketing and advertising, a substitute is often used to change how a message is presented. By doing this, companies can influence how people think, feel, and react to their brand. To help you understand this better, let's look at a well-known example, the Dove Real Bounty campaign. In many traditional advertisements, especially in the beauty industry, brands usually use thin, young, and perfect-looking models. This image often creates a very narrow standards of beauty. However, Dove did something different. Instead of using idealized models, they choose to feature real women. These women had different body types, different age, and different backgrounds. Because of this change, the focus of the advertisement shifted. It was no longer about achieving a perfect look. Instead, it became about being real, accepting yourself, and feeling confidence in your own skin. Now let's analyze why this works. By substituting a stereotypical image with more realistic and relatable ones, the message becomes much more meaningful to the audience. People are more likely to see themselves in the advertisements, which make it more engaging. Also, even though the change seems small, just changing the type of model, it actually has a big impact. It encourages people to question traditional beauty standards. At the same time, it helps build trust in the brand and creates a stronger emotional connection with the audience. From the physical perspective, this is closely related to two important concepts. The first is self-identification. People tend to connect more with content that reflects who they are or who they believe them are. The second is social comparison. People often compare themselves with others when they say more realistic and diverse representation. They may feel less pressure and more acceptance of themselves. Because of these psychological effects, the message becomes more effective and more acceptable to the audience. In conclusion, substitute is now just about changing something randomly. It is about making the thoughtful change that can completely transform how a message is received. As we can see from the Dove campaign, even a simple substitution can create a powerful impact, both emotionally and social. Thank you. Which is called campaign. As we know, Scamper is a creative thinking framework used to generate new ideas. Among its 7 techniques, campaign focus on bringing different elements together to create something new and more valuable. So what does campaign actually mean? Campaign refers to the process of joining 2 or more things, such as technology, ideas, emotions, or functions, in order to produce a better or more innovative outcome. In marketing and media, this often means campaign storytelling with technology, or mixing emotional and rational elements. By doing this, brands can create messages that are not only informative but also engaging and memorable. And to better understand this, let's look at a well-known example. The Spotify Wrapped campaign. Every year, Spotify provides its users with a personalized summary of their listening habits. This includes their most played songs, favorite artists, and even how much time they spend listening to music. But what makes the campaign special is not just the data itself. Spotify combines this data with storytelling. It presents information in a color, visually, appealing and easy to share format. It almost feels like a story about your personal music journey throughout the year. Because of this, users are not just receiving information, they are expressing something meaningful and personal. Now let's look at why this star strategy is effective. First, comparing data with storytelling makes the connect with the content much more listening and engaging. Raw data alone can be boring, but when it is presented as a story, it becomes easier to understand and more enjoyable. Second, this combination helps users feel more connected to the product since the content is based on their own behavior. Uh, it feels personal and relevant. This creates a stronger emotional bond between the user and the brand. In addition, this strategy also encourages users to share their results. Many people like to post their Spotify rap on social media. This is because the content reflects their personality, person, personality and identity, especially their music taste. From the psychological perspective, this is related to the concept of self-relevance. People naturally pay more attention to things that are about themselves. It is also connected to sharing behavior. When something feels personal and meaningful, people are more likely to share it with others. As a result, this increases the visibility of the brand without the needs for traditional advertising. In conclusion, Kanban is a powerful technique that shows how bringing different elements together can create a stronger impact. The Spotify Rap campaign is a great example of how data and storytelling can work together to create a more engaging and personal experience. Thank you.
Hi everyone, today I will explain two important elements from the Scamper technique, which are adapt and modify or magnify. Scamper is a creative thinking tool that helps people generate new ideas by improving existing ones. Among the different elements in Scamper, adapt and modify are commonly used because they focus on improving what you already have instead of starting from zero. These methods are also widely used in daily life, technology, and business, so understanding them can help us become more creative and practical when solving problems. The first one is adapt. Adapt means using ideas or concepts from other fields and applying in a new situation. Instead of creating something completely new, people look at existing ideas and adjust them so they can work in different contexts. This method is useful because it saves time and effort. When people adapt ideas, they don't need to rely everything from the beginning. They can use previous knowledge and improve it to their needs. Adapt also encourage creative thinking because it allows people to learn from industrial or situation. Sometimes the best ideas are not totally new, but improved version of older ideas. For example, online shopping systems were adapted in food delivery applications. In the past, people usually ordered food by calling restaurants. However, this method sometimes caused mistakes such as wrong orders or long time waiting. Later, developers use the same system from online shopping platforms. Customers can now choose food items, make payments online, and track their delivery status. This makes the process faster and more accurate. Because of this adaptation, ordering food has become more convenient and efficient. Today, many people rely on food delivery apps because they save time and reduce effort. This example clearly shows how adapting an existing system can create a better, more useful solution. The next one is modify, magnify. Modifying means changing certain part of the product or idea to improve its function, appearance, or performance. It doesn't mean replacing the whole product, but improving it step by step. Magnify also related to modify. It means making certain features bigger or more noticeable so that user can enjoy the better performance or visibility. This method is important because small improvements can lead to significant changes over time. Many successful products today are actually improved version of earlier design. A good example of modify can be seen in the smartphones. In the past, mobile phones had very small secrets and limited function. People may use them of calling or sending a text message. Over time, companies modify smartphones by enlarging the secret sign, improving the camera quality, and increasing battery life. These changes make the smartphones more useful for many purposes, such as study, watching videos, playing games, and community with others. Magnifying the secret size one clear example because larger secrets make it easier for users to read, watch content, and increase with application. This example shows that even small modification, when done continuously, can greatly improve the overall user experience and make products more useful in daily life. The importance. Finally, adapt and modify are important because they help save time and reduce costs instead of creating new products from the new beginning. People can improve existing ones which usually faster and more efficiency. This technique also encourage creative thinking because it allows people to explore different ways to improve ideas. It helps people think more flexible and look at problems from different purposes. Today, adapt and modify are widely used in many areas such as education, business, engineering, and technology. They help people develop better solutions and improve everyday products that we are using in the daily. In the conclusion, adapt and modify are useful tools in the scamper technique because they help improve ideas in practical and creative ways. By adapting existing ideas and modify products step by step, people can create better solutions and improve their daily lives. Thank you, everyone.
Hello everyone, I will talking about using for another purpose. This idea means we use a product in a different way, not only for this original purpose. In other words, we do not change the product itself, but we change how we use it. So we can add more value without creating something new. For example, smartphones were originally made for communication like calling and texting. That was their main function in the past, but today many students use their phones for study. They can watch online lectures anytime, anywhere. They can take photos and take notes using app instead of writing on paper. They can also join online class and discuss with teachers or classmates. Besides that, some students even their phones to read ebook or searching for information quickly. This makes learning more flexible and convenient. So the smartphone is not just a communication tool anymore. It also becomes a learning tool. It plays more roles in our daily life. This shows that we can change how we use products. We can make it more useful. We can get more benefits from the same product without spending extra money. One main advantage is this that save cost and increase in value at the same time. However, sometimes using a product in a different way may not always be perfect. For example, using a phone for a long time may cause eye strain or discussion. Hello. Animately means removing things that are not necessary in a product or service. The goal is to make it simpler, faster, and easier to use. By doing this, we can improve efficiency and users' experience. For example, many apps today use one-click log. Users can log in with their Google or Apple accounts. In the past, people needed to fill in a long form with their personal information. This process was slow and sometimes annoying. Now, with one click, users can enter the app immediately. This saves a lot of time and makes the process more convenient. Another example is online payment. Many apps save your card or e-wallet information, so you do not need to enter it again every time. This also reduces steps and makes things faster. By eliminating necessary steps, user can save time and error. It also reduces confusion, especially for new users. The advantage is that the product becomes easier to use and more user-friendly. It's also helpful for people who want a quick and simple experience. However, there are also sometimes immediately. If too many features were removed, the product also loses important functions. Some users may feel that they are not have enough choice for control. So it's important to find a balance between simplicity and functionality.
Hello everyone, my name is Teng Xinya. Today I'm going to introduce a review of rearrange principle in Scamper. Scamper is a creative thinking method. Each letter responds one way to improve an idea or solve a problem. The letter R stands for reserve or rearrange. This principle focuses on changing the usual order, direction, struggle, or arrangement of something. In simple words, reserve means doing something in the opposite way. Rearrange means challenging the order or position of different parts, instead of always following the traditional process. This method asks us to think in defiant. For example, we can ask, what if we do this step last instead of first? What if we reserve the process? Or can we change the layout to make it better? This principle is useful because many people are used to doing things in a fixed way. When a process becomes familiar, we may stop questioning it. However, the normal way is not always the best way. Sometimes, by changing the order or reversing the process, we can find problems that were not obvious before. We may also discover a simple, faster, or more creative solution. One common example is a few-page classroom. In a traditional classroom, teachers explain knowledge in class, and students do homework after class. But in a filled-up classroom, this order is reversed. Students first learn the basic theory at home, usually through videos or reading materials. Then they use class time to discuss, ask questions, and practice. This change makes learn more active. Students are not only listening passively, they can use class time to solve real problems with teachers' help. Another example, retail stories. Many stories rearrange their products, placement, and working paths. For example, popular products may be placed deeper inside the store, so customers need to walk past other products first. Some products are placed near the checkout area to to every last minute precise. This is not a window. It is a arrangement of space designed to guide customer behavior and improve sales. The results of rearrangement principle can also be used in structures. For example, in a restaurant, if customers have to wait too long before ordering, the restaurant may rearrange the service process. It may allow customers to order by scanning a QR code first. This changes the original order of service and can reduce waiting time. As a result, the whole experience becomes more efficient. In mobile applications, designers also use this principle. If user cannot easily find an important function, the app design teams may rearrange the layout. They may move the most useful features to the home page, simplify the menu, or change the order of buttons. This makes the app easily to use, improves the user experience. Overall, reservoirs or rearrangement is important because it helps use break-fix thinking. It encourages us to look at a problem from a new angle. It can improve efficiency, reduce unnecessary steps, and create better solutions. More importantly, it reminds us that exactly order is not the only possible order. Sometimes a small change in a sequence or structures lead to a big improvement. So the key message of this principle is when the normal way does not work well, try changing the order, reversing the process, or rearrangement the struggle. This may open up the new possibility and lead to more creative ideas.
Today I'm going to be presenting section 3 and section 5 of our topic, which is the scamper process and its benefits. Section 3, scamper process. I'll start with the explanation to the scamper's process. Scamper is not just a random group of ideas, but rather it is a methodologically and systematic approach to help us be more creative and solve problems more efficiently. There's a 5-step process in using Scamper. Step 1. Defining the problem. First step in the Scamper process is to clearly define the problem and objectives. If the problem isn't well defined, the ideas will be vague. For example, instead of stating how can we improve upon the current education system, we would state how can we create a more interactive experience when offering a students an online course. By having a clear, defined problem, we are better capable of directing the subsequent process. Step 2. Identify the scamper method. The second step in the scamper process is to apply the scamper technicals. There are 7 unique technicals associated with scamper. There are substitute, combine, adapt, modify, put to another use, eliminate, and reverse. At the stage of we will ask ourselves the following questions. What can I change? What else can I want to combine? What can I remove? By answering these questions, we get to view the problem from different angles. Step 3. Create a large number of ideas. At the third step of the scamper process, we need to create as many ideas as we can without judging those ideas at this stage. All ideas are valid prior to the actual judgment process. It's also important to note that even if the idea seems very off the wall, will likely prove to be valuable at the end of the process.
Okay, now it's my turn, and I want to present the application of the scamper technique in various fields. I will focus on four main areas: business and product, innovation, education, engineering and technology, plus marketing and advertising. First, Scamper is useful in business and product innovation because companies don't always need to create a completely new product. Many successful innovations come from improving exciting products or services. Scamper gives business a systematic way to ask questions, such as what can we substitute, combine, adapt, modify, eliminate, or reverse? These questions help companies redesign products, improve service quality, and respond better to customer needs. For example, a company may combine two product feeders, remove unnecessary steps, or modify a product design to make it easier to use. Boom Process 2023 study showed that Scamper helped generate creative product design ideas, which is important for product innovation. Second, Scamper is widely used in education. In the classroom, students often memorize information, but they may not know how to create new ideas. Scamper helps students think actively through guided question. For example, students can change characters, combine ideas, adapt a story to a new situation, or modify the ending. King, Gray, and Lange in 2024 found that Scamper improved students' creative writing. Mark and LMCR2422 in 2021 also found that Scamper-based activities improve students' academic achievement and motivation in science lessons. Therefore, Scamper can make learning more creative and engaging. Third, Scamper is useful in engineering and technology. In this field, innovation must consider real limitations such as cost, safety, materials, and performance. Scamper helps engineers improve exciting systems in a structured way. For example, engineers may substitute lighter materials, combine two functions, eliminate unnecessary parts, or modify a design to make it safer and more efficient. Wu and Wu in 2020 showed that Scamper can encourage creative thinking and problem solving in engineering education. Komnick and colleagues in 2023 also explained that systematic creativity methods can support lightweight and sustainable design. Finally, Scamper can also be applied in marketing and advertising. Marketing is not only about selling products, but also about improving customer experience. Scamper helps marketers make products and services more attractive. For example, companies can modify advertising messages, combine online and offline promotion, or adapt products to new target markets. Coombe and Kennywood in 2021 discussed a Thai Airways case using a scamper-like approach. Suggested improvements included better online systems, digital interminement, and upgraded aircraft feeders. These ideas helped improve customer experience and brand value. In conclusion, Scamper is a flexible and practical creative thinking toy. It can be used in many fields because it gives people clear questions to follow and makes creativity easier to apply. That's all. Thank you.
Step 4. Analyze and evaluate ideas. We want to determine whether the idea is practical, we can actually implement it. It has the ability to solve an identified problem. Afterward, we will determine which the these ideas was best based on both creativity and practically. Step 5. Test and improve. When testing our ideas, we could test them out in small ways or test them while doing things that we will normally do in life. Once we have finished testing our idea, we can improve on the idea by making it better. Using Scamper as a technical makes the process of creating new thoughts clear and practical.
Okay, I will conclude the presentation. Based on this report, Scamper is a creative thinking tool that uses 7 specific stages to help generate ideas. It allows people to solve problems from different perspectives instead of using only one fixed way of thinking. Scamper is also very flexible. It can be used in many fields such as education, businesses, technology. Because of its step-by-step process, users can improve exciting ideas and respond to changing needs more efficiently. Other important point is process of Scamper. It defines the problem to generating idea to testing solutions. Each step helps people move from creative and real results. This means Scamper is not only about thinking, but also about action and improvement. Finally, Scamper helps individuals and organizations develop ideas that both creative and practical. It also reminds us to balance creative, evolution, feasibility, continuous improvement. In conclusion, Scamper is a useful tool that supports innovation, clear thinking, and effective problem solving. That's all. Thanks for your listening.